Hey everybody, welcome back here to A Place to Heal. So, we are electrical beings. If you've never heard that, where have you been? Because we are so electrical. If you don't believe that, you know, when you were a kid, you used to walk across the carpet and, you know, you used to run your feet and then you used to touch somebody and you could get zapped. Or there's been a few times I've been at Walmart and I have like touched a cart or someone else, and you know, you get a spark. That should be your first indication of how electrical we truly are. So let's get into something that I have been seeing so much of lately. I mean, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse by the day. I've been receiving more emails, more text messages, more everything pertaining to this. Okay, so about a month ago, we sell minerals on our website. And about a month ago, my granddaughter, every once in a while, she helps me, you know, with the products. And when I order my minerals, I order them in bulk, wholesale, and they come in these huge gallons. And those gallons are sealed, okay? So she was having problems, you know, taking the little seal off, and I happened to be in the office at the time, and I'm watching her, and I was getting ready to tell her, you know, you need to grab it by the little lip to get it off. And the next thing I know, she grabs a pair of scissors, and before I can tell her, don't do that, she jams the pair of scissors into the thing, and the next thing I hear is this huge horrid scream and a flash of light. And this poor girl must have been freaked out for like a good 15 minutes. She was like, you don't understand what happened. I go, I do understand what happened. I said, you're using a metal instrument. I said, and you're dealing with minerals, which are electric, and they make our body electric. Years and years and years ago, when I first started, I saw a demonstration where they had a light bulb, and they actually inserted, you know, the thing into the minerals, and they lit up the light bulb. This is how electric minerals are. So if you notice, like you go to the stores, everything is vitamin fortified, but you never hear mineral fortified because they know this. They don't want you to have minerals in your body, because if you don't have minerals in your body, there's a lot of conductivity that you are not going to receive. So I want you to think of this like in your house. Okay, so if you have a wire that is not making a good connection, you're not going to have the best electricity in that area because the connection is not being made. Where the connection is nice and strong, you're going to have beautiful light. Okay, and the same is said for your body. So they want you to numb down that electrical connection because they know that the more dumbed down that it is and the more numbed down that it is, the less, you know, basically signals that you're going to be receiving. Right? When that signal is strong, your intuition is strong, you know, everything is strong because those signals are firing the way they're supposed to. When you don't have these minerals, you also have a tendency to have, you know, anxiety and depression and panic attacks, right? Because your body does not have the electrical, you know, electrical that it needs to be sending back and forth those signals. All right, so let's get into this because I want to talk to you about cell phones. And this is my own conspiracy theory. So, you know, you can buy into it or you cannot buy into it. It's up to you. I'm just presenting the facts and I'm just giving you a different view, okay, to think about. All right, so our heart, I know that they've been telling, oh, this is a pump, and you've seen it on TV, you know, bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay, our heart is not a pump. There is no way that a tiny little pump like that is going to pump all the way down to your blood and all the way up. It is a vortex, and this has been proven. I'm not shooting garbage at you here, okay? Your heart is a vortex generator, creating suction and torque, not pressure. Our blood flows via frequency, resonance, an electrical charge. Most of the people that, when I go to the hospital, because I have some people that are like, you know, my husband's in the hospital, my wife is in the hospital, can you come, you know, give us some advice, whatever. And I show up at the hospital every time they have a heart attack, always 100% magnesium in a bag flowing. Why? Magnesium is a mineral. It's a mineral that makes your body electric. I cannot stress this enough, how important it is for our conductivity to have this stuff. Okay, your heart creates an electromagnetic field that radiates 6 meters from the body and syncs with the earth, the sun, and every living being around you. It is a tuner, a conductor that aligns the rhythm of your cells. It also has memory, okay? So when people sit there and say, oh, you know, I have heart issues, I already know there's something a lot deeper going on. I mean, a lot deeper, because this is an organ that needs, you know, all this electricity to function. It also, you know, works on emotion. And this is why you can be close to somebody, and if you don't like that, they're going to pick it up. That energy, they're picking up that energy. They already know. Okay, so why am I telling you all this? The reason I'm telling you all this is because I have been receiving all these phone calls, these emails, these text messages, people contacting me in my group underneath my videos. They're complaining of pain, numbness, tingling in the hands. The tingling will go up the thumb through that nervous system. It'll go right into the front of the shoulder, and then the pain radiates in the shoulder, and they have problems moving their shoulder backwards and forwards. The pain will also radiate into the back, and then it'll radiate up the neck. Now, I know if it's radiating up, it's also radiating down, for sure. Okay? Cell phones use radio frequency, okay, RF radiation, to send signals. We do not have enough data out here yet to let us know what, and yes, we have the cell phone data, okay? They already know that it is causing brain cancers, okay, because of this, right? It's too close to the brain, and it's sending the radiation into the brain. We already know that. What we don't know long-term yet is what is this plus 5G cell towers causing and long-term effects, okay? So I have now dubbed this restless arm syndrome. If you've ever heard of restless leg syndrome, it's something that happens when the liver isn't working correctly and you start getting like neuropathy and stuff like that. It all comes from the liver. So you start getting like a restless leg at night, you can't sleep. But now I'm getting people that are contacting me and telling me, wives, telling me that their husbands, their arms are just like vibrating at night. You know, it's crazy. And, you know, their eyes, like their eyelids, it's really weird. It's freaking them out, you know, and people are waking up and telling me that they got tingling up and down their legs. It's waking them up at night, and tingling going up and down their arms. And sometimes the pain is so much that they can barely stand the pain. All right, this has now become an epidemic that I have started to see in the last 5 years, ever since these cell towers started going up. Okay, so the human body is an intricate electrical machine. Nothing more, nothing less. We are an electrical machine. Cells thrive on the flow of minerals and energy. The brain sends electrical signals. Your nerves conduct currents, and every organ That is the most important part. Every organ depends on this charge, this interaction with this electrical. Okay, so are these cell phone towers sending out more electricity, more signals, more radiation? Heck yes. I mean, that's why we went from, 4G to 5G. All of a sudden we're in this 5G, and man, we are sending, if you don't believe that, you take a meter, you go over there, it's sending out like microwave, because it does put out microwave signals. Okay, so this stuff is toxic. I believe Kennedy is now trying to get them taken down in very heavily populated areas. We have a street here. When I was getting ready to buy a house, we have a street. It's called Unser. I mean, that's besides the point. After the driver. And on that street, they have 5G cell towers, like up left and right, up and down that street. And they also have electrical towers, the old kind, the wood ones with all the electrical wires. The amount of cancers, when I started doing my research, because the guy that was trying to sell me a house, he kept trying to convince me, it's like, oh, these houses are so cheap, Marie, they're gorgeous, they're 4 and 5 bedrooms, and you can get them for like, I said, yeah, I bet. So yes, are they putting out more energy? Absolutely. I've had clients complaining that they're feeling electricity in their hands while they are holding their phones. It's like, I can feel it. And I've had others whose hands have started to peel. The skin has started to peel. And as they cut back on their cell phone use, their skin started getting better. Other people, their fingers have been swelling. They look like little sausages because the lymphatic, it doesn't allow the lymphatic to move. So their fingers get very swollen, and they wake up and they're like, oh, I can barely move my hands. It hurts so bad. The arthritis, their hair falling out. I had one lady, she's like, my hair kept falling out. And she goes, and finally, when I stopped the cell phone junk, my hair started to grow back in. Some people's hands have gotten so dry, they crack and they bleed. But here's the weirdest part, okay? Because I've been keeping data on all this. I know a lot of people out there don't do this, but I'm one of those crazy people that does. On your phone, you are able to keep track of the time that you spend on your phone. Okay, so the longer you spend on your phone, this is kind of weird, because what's happening is the electricity keeps traveling more and more and more. So if you're only on your phone an hour or 2 a day, yeah, you might get some hand tingling. Yeah, you might get this. Yes, you might get that. But the people like me who I was spending up to 10, 12 hours on my phone, because I'm answering emails on my phone. I'm, creating this, creating that, doing videos, the whole bit. It travels further and further and further and further up your arm. And you start having the symptoms earlier. So like, let's say you're only on your phone for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, you're like, damn, my hand's already hurting. And I've only been on that damn phone for 15 minutes. So this electricity is actually doing something. I can't put my hands on it because I'm not a full-blown electrician. I do know enough about electricity. My mother was an electrician, and I do know about electricity and how it works, but not inside the human body. And there is no data. I went out there searching on the internet, and there actually is like no data on this. Okay. All I kept saying is, yeah, there is a little bit of electricity. It doesn't do much to the body. During 2020, they had us focused, and this is where my conspiracy theory comes in. So grab my hand. The water's warm. They had us focused on a virus, and they had us focused on vaccines. These towers started going up and going up and going up. And then we started having one upgrade on the phone after another. Did you guys not catch that? So in case you didn't know, This last upgrade, we skipped 4 different upgrades on our cell phone. I mean, we just bypassed 4 and went on to it. We were like at what, 13, and we just skipped right over to 17, I think, or something like that. Look it up. You know, so there is something going on between these 5G cell towers and these cell phones, and they are messing with our electrical system inside. So now this becomes a lot more dangerous when these are being held in the hands of pregnant women, because we don't know what kind of anything is happening to these fetuses. And when these are in the hands of children, because their nervous system is a lot more delicate and it's still being formed than ours. Okay, so I'm not beyond blaming this thing for a lot of, you know, these issues that these children are having, emotional and psychological issues. Okay, OCD, ADD, you know, because these are messing with our electrical system. So when I said in the beginning that these phones mess with organs, yes, they're messing with your kidneys, they're messing with your liver. And the reason I know they're messing with your liver is because just like restless leg syndrome, we're now starting to get restless arm syndrome, where we constantly have to be moving our arm and it hurts and our elbows hurt and our biceps are hurting. That nervous system that's going through our bicep, that nervous system that's going through our shoulder, and it's obviously going up to our brain. And if it's going up to our brain, it's coming down to our heart. And remember, I said that our heart is not a pump. It's an electrical organ. Okay, so all these organs have to fire with each other. So another question that I have that I couldn't find anything to is, does this phone's electricity interfere with the minerals that I'm taking? Because I'm very adamant about taking my minerals, my iodine, my copper, my trace minerals, my fulvic, my humic. Okay, I take these because I know how important it is for my body to have this conductivity. So is this messing with those minerals that are so important for my body? Or is taking those minerals making it worse because they're clashing with each other? Okay, so I couldn't find that either. But what I do know is this has definitely gotten a lot worse since 2020, since these cell towers went up. So there is something going on between the cell tower, the phone, and us. We are in a triangle, okay? And this is happening. Now, I know, as always, you're, what do I do about it, Marie? I mean, yes, I give you the problem, but I am always a person who looks for the solution, because a problem is no good to me without a solution. I have to have a solution. Number one, I don't have it on this phone. This is my consultation phone. I hardly ever use it. It just sits on a ledge, you know, until I have to do a consultation. But on my phone that I normally use, I have a pop-it, okay, a pop-up. And it sticks to the back of your phone. I know they're dorky. It was once upon a time, blah, blah. But that pop-up allows me to take my hand away from that phone and not have the electricity, okay? It also allows me to hold it like this, to hold it like this, so that I don't get cramps and start screwing up the hands, the muscles in my hands. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I always make sure 110%, I never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, do I use my cell phone while it's charging. Okay, because when it's charging, there is no ground. So you're getting straight electricity into the phone and from the phone into your hand. I've done videos of this where I've proved it. Okay, so that electricity is going right into your hand. Okay, another thing that I've done is on my car, I have like a mount. So when I'm in the car, I don't have my phone. I never pick up my phone. I have it on the mount. So there it stays. and if I have to do anything, I will, you know, I will sit there and I will do it on that. Okay. So that is something else that I do. Another thing that I do is by my bed, I have, it's kind of like it grabs on and it swings out and I can put the phone on there. So if it's charging, I have it sitting there and I don't touch it. So if I need to read something or whatever, there are stands now that you can buy that you can put by your bed. Okay. And the stand will, whatever you got to do to start getting that phone out of your hand and away from your body, because that electricity, I guarantee you, I don't have proof of it yet, but it's killing us one way or another. It's, I don't know if it's shutting down organs or making them work less or screwing up our brain. You know, even this could be causing Alzheimer's and dementia because of the electricity not allowing the liver to make the connection to the electricity in the brain. The heart's not performing like it should. It's not sending signals. And it's also interrupting our nervous system. I've seen people since COVID, right? They've gotten nastier. You know, you see them like just going off the deep end and losing it. And I'm just like, whoa, what the heck? I mean, I just recently talked about this in a live, a man that just lost it on me for like no reason. I'm like, whoa, what, man, you need medication, you know? And I believe that a lot of this, they're controlling through the signals. And the longer you have this in your hand, the more control that they are going to have. Okay, I know this is just my own personal theory, but I know there's going to be a lot of you that are going to chime in underneath and going, oh yeah, we totally believe that. And the only reason I say that is because I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it over and over and over. People have no clue. And here's the thing, they're being lied to because they're going to their chiropractors and they're sitting there going, oh, I have this, this problem in my hands, right? And they're being told, oh, it's arthritis, or, oh, the pain in your neck, it's coming, because your neck is not aligned properly, or your shoulder. They're telling women that it's because of menopause. They're telling them because it's bone on bone and they need surgeries and all sorts of stuff. So they're making extra money on this. Okay. So all of these things are being told. Our vision, okay, our vision is getting messed up because this is going through here, this is going through here, and this is going to here. Okay, this is going to here. So our vision is getting messed up. And if you don't know, okay, if you have never heard of Hulda Clark, I think she was one of the first people that I started studying under and learning her stuff. Hulda Clark has a zapper, and it's for parasites. And I've always thought, if electricity, right, can flow one way and it can get rid of parasites, why not the other way and invite parasites in? So that's another thing to take into consideration. I mean, if you'd like to add to this conversation, please, I would love to know more. But as far as where are you getting your information, where are you getting your data? Nowhere. I haven't found it. This is all just stuff that I have, try to figure out. Now, one thing, there is some things that have helped. It does not help if you do not get the phone out of your hand. But they do have these for your fingers online. But if you don't have the money or you don't want to spend the time, what I do is I take a rubber band, I twist it, I put the next finger in, I twist it, and you just keep doing that, okay? And what I do is I stretch my fingers, okay, with the rubber band. The higher you go, the more the stretch. Okay, the lower you go, the less the stretch. So I do that, or even if I do this in the car, even while I'm driving, I'm like, I will do my thumb, because your thumb is going to be your biggest culprit. Okay, but if you stretch your hands and just, you will feel that going up. So that is one of the things that I found. Another thing that I found, and I try to sell it on TikTok, try to tell people about it. They said they were out of the product, which was a lie, because I looked and other people were selling it. They were out of the product. And number two, they didn't want me selling it, and they took down my video. So it's a gyro ball, okay? The gyro ball I found works exceptionally well, especially for men. This is a something that was created back in the 70s. It was created by somebody in Japan, and it was basically so that for baseball players, so they had a better, you know, pitch, and you know, your hand gets tired, blah blah. The only problem is that it's very hard to work. Okay, it's got some arrows on it. You have to push that as far as you can till you just can't anymore. So you do have to have some strength in your arms to begin with, and your hands. And then it starts, and it's a G-force, okay? And once you get it going, it pulls against your hand. And for some reason, you can hear the, okay? For some reason, this pulls the electricity out the other direction, okay? Just don't get your hand caught in that. Ooh, does that hurt? And you can actually switch, and you can get it going. Now this will build muscles in your hand like crazy, okay? But, and eventually it just stops. But this is a very quick fix. If you already have pain in your arms, it's already pain in your shoulders. I don't know what it is about this G-force. I just happened to come across it because I was looking for something for me. I don't know what it is about this G-force, but just 3 minutes, you're just like, your arms are like, oh, it's like almost like it just pulls that electricity right out of your hands. Okay, so if you're interested in those, I'll add it down below. So it's, and you guys know I don't ever sell anything that doesn't work. It's just like, I don't waste my time. But this I actually bought, and it comes with its own little case. It's not expensive. It's like, I don't know, 20 bucks or something like that. I think I paid for it. And what I do is I keep it by my computer. So like once a day while I'm sitting there, and at the end of my day, I mean, even that just was, at the end of my day, while I'm watching TV, I will pick it up and I will set my alarm for 3 minutes, and I'll do that. And then I'll switch it over to the other hand. I'll do it. And you can do it up above. You can do it down below. Okay. Wherever you feel that you need that. But I've had a couple of men who, you know, their wives are just like, oh my God, their poor arms. They just can't, you know, and at night they're keeping me up because they're shaking so bad, and they have used that, and it's exceptional. Okay. So that way I'm making this video because every time I get an email, every time I get a text message, every time I get, I'm going to send them to this video. It's like, look, go check this out, because this is now a full-blown epidemic. And us, the ones who are trying to keep our health, the ones, because to me, this is like a chess game, right? I swear to God, it's a movie. They move their piece, we have to move a piece. They move their piece, we move our piece. So, you know, it's like scammers and hackers and computer. So here comes the hacker, they have to create a new program. Here comes the hacker, and it's the same thing with this. We have to come up with the hacks because they throw something new at us. We need to move our piece. We need to create a hack. They move, okay? And we have to be aware of all the areas in which they're coming at us, because believe me, They're coming at us from all sides. All right. So, all right. I will see you next week. Please stay happy. I'm going to be throwing stuff at you to open your mind and hopefully keep you a little bit healthier. And all you got to do is love and respect one another. See you next week. Love you guys. Bye-bye.